Yes, sir.
We will call the roll of magistrates and establish a quorum.
Mr. Elder?
Here.
Mr. Wicker?
Here.
Mr. Smothers?
Here.
Mr. Caldwell?
Here.
Mr. Masterson?
Here.
All present.
If y'all will allow me to just deviate from the agenda just briefly, we have a guest with us that wanted to address the court just briefly. Ms. Lynn Roby has stopped by and wanted to give us a little update on community action. You all know that we've been through some righting the ship and things are running a little better, and she wanted to just address the court.
Is it okay for here or should I?
Sure.
Well, I was talking with John Arthur earlier on the phone this week, so that he said, well, come and talk to you all. I really want to thank you for all of your confidence in our agency, donations that you've given us over the past years. We do have good news. Usually I'm here asking you for money, but we have good news. We really found out what was going on with the agency. We've stabilized the agency. We found out where the holes were, where we were losing money, and we've really trimmed expenses, and we have increased our revenue. We found out because we lost most of our money in the transportation program. We found out by loading those buses with the wheelchair first, you get another 30 cents a mile. And over 2 million miles, that's a lot of money. And it adds up to about $240,000 a year. So that's what we've been missing. So that's started. Our revenue increased every month since March, and will continue. And we just do want to thank you for giving us an opportunity to do that. We've expanded some of our programs. We now have intercity connection where we take people to the airport or to the bus station. It's a $10 fee from Lebanon to Louisville. We'll pick you up when you get back in off your flight or your bus. And the state is fully reimbursing us for all those costs. And then it's just $10 a person. So that's like $75,000 more a year that we can access from the Department of Transportation. We've also expanded another one of our programs, our Kentucky Works program. We started that in 2007. In 2010, they asked us to take 3 more counties, which gave us 11 counties. And a few months ago, they asked us to take an additional 6 counties, and we got those counties. So it's 17 counties what we're working in with the Kentucky Works program. That's to get people off of the KTAB, the welfare, and back to work. So that's a really good program. That budget now is going to be $1.2 million a year. That's a big expansion for us. And we look forward to an successful 2015. We want to thank especially this fiscal court, because you've been the most generous of the 8 we work with. But the rest have given us some money too, and I'll be thanking them too. They gave us an opportunity to bring our agency back from the brink. It's being lost. So I do want to thank you, and I'd like to give you some good news instead of always sad news.
Well,
Thank you for coming. Thank you so much.
Okay, we thank you. Your agency and the employees that they hire here, and this is home base for them, so you know we derive some benefit from the occupational taxes, obviously, and so what we've forwarded you or given you in support, it comes back around, so it benefits everybody. It's a great agency, does great work.
Ms. Roby.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Okay, we'll go ahead to the agenda now. The first item is to consider the approval of the minutes of the special meeting, the budget meeting we had on May the 24th.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Smothers?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Item number 2, we got our cooperative road agreement and resolution. This is the last few days. Our county road aid is up slightly from last year. I know that the road fuel tax issue, the reset on that cost a little bit of money to all the counties. Last year we've gotten probably a $30,000, $40,000 increase. This year is just a $10,000 over the previous year, which is pretty small compared to what we've been getting in the past. But they do keep out the 3% for the emergency road aid program, which we have been a beneficiary of a few times. Hopefully don't have to use it, but it's good if it's there, and they will support us if we have a bridge fall in over the weekend or something. And unfortunately, we've had that happen. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the County Road Aid resolution first.
Motion approved. Second.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Smothers?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Separate motion, and now entertain a motion to approve the cooperative road aid agreement.
Motion. Second.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Smothers?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Okay, the 4.5-hour session we held on the budget, and I guess Treasurer Kevin Cochran made the changes that we had all addressed and forwarded it to Mr. Robert O. Brown, State and Local Finance Officer. They reviewed it, approved it, and sent it back. And at this point, I guess we'd entertain a motion to approve the second reading and adoption of our budget ordinance.
Motion to approve the budget ordinance. Second.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Yes, Judge, one question. I know when we discussed that, we were talking about employee salaries and so forth. We were going to schedule a meeting to review that within like 10 days. I was just wondering if you got a date scheduled or?
Have not, no, but I think, we decided this year we're going to probably go with what we had in the budget for the proposed 3% increase, and we're going to work on the evaluation instrument and the way to move forward for next budget year. So I didn't know we were going to change our budget or personnel rates this current year.
Well, that's fine. I thought we were going to look at it and try to make some adaptations.
I'm on the same page you are. I talked to Mr. Cochran, and I think there's some places we can take care of that in here. So I believe we talked about that being for this year, Judge.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, being for what now? What's been for this year?
What we discussed is that we discussed the pay raise for the employees, and then what we also discussed was going back and looking at the employees' base pay and looking so forth, and making some adjustments. One of the problems we have is that we've got, whether any department realistically, we want to see what we can do from a financial standpoint of creating a better base pay for where they start at, okay, and where they're at. So what we had discussed is that within 10 days or so to get together and then kind of look at that as a group and then try to come up with something, some type of formula, see what we have, what we can work with. I mean, is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's correct. But like I said, I think there's enough in here that we can cover that. And so I think we can approve the budget, but we need to go ahead.
Right.
And Judge, I'm with him on that. That's something we need to go ahead and do if we can get it done.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it.
Well, we had two things we were going to try to do, and that was to put a review of policy and make sure we did in fact have the annual review and evaluation by supervisors of all employees.
Right.
And make sure it gets practiced. In other words, I think that was one of the things that we brought up, is that we're not following our policy as closely as we could. And in doing that, we haven't been able to make the adjustments to wages based on review and evaluation and so forth that we probably could do based on merit and performance to some extent. So
just, I guess,
I thought it was next year too.
well, I thought if we hammered on it for about an hour, we'd probably decide that we needed to go ahead and
sooner than later.
Well, I think
the 3% this year, but work on a better path forward and tweak our policy and address it with employees and supervisors about the evaluation instrument and the use of that instrument for adjustments to wages in the future.
Yeah. And again, I mean, I took it that that we were going to do it this current budget.
Yeah,
and the reason
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And the big thing was some of our starting salaries, we needed to bump them at a decent wage. And I was under the assumption, well, more than the assumption, that's what I understood.
Yeah.
That we was going to go ahead and do that this time and get some relatively decent salaries and starting points.
So currently, right now, everything is 3% across the board?
That was what I put in the
3%.
original draft budget.
Okay. That's
Kind
true.
of feeding off what the sheriff had put in their budget and what the jail had put in their budget, and that's just kind of the template that we unfortunately, we've kind of been stuck on for the last several years, but.
So there's somebody else's salary we're gonna be working on to.
Yeah.
The
I
lower,
mean,
the
Yeah,
lower
so-
end.
So what we agreed to do, because we couldn't, between the ability to go ahead and pass the budget, get a budget approved and passed, okay? Which courts never failed to do, but to go ahead and get the budget approved and passed, we agreed on a 3% flat across the board raise, okay? With that being said, we also acknowledge the fact that we have positions within the county that when it comes to the starting wage, in other words, as we hire someone and so forth, and also going back and reviewing the existing employee's wage with time served and so forth, that we need to address a few issues and correct some issues and get it right from a salary standpoint. So that's what we're going to do, is that we're going to go ahead and approve the 3%, ensure all the employees of a 3% raise. But then we're going to come back and we're going to look, and as Master said as well, we're going to address the issue in the judge of the starting pay, and then as well as, kind of just overview of, and try to get a better guideline. As Judge said, part of that also is to develop or to bring out a evaluation sheet of some sort, and then also figure out a way, whether it be the whole court, body of the court, or whatever, work with the department heads on that evaluation and so forth as well. So what's your thought on that, Master Smothers?
Yeah, I mean, it's 3% across the board, and we're gonna get together and talk about it, correct?
Yeah.
See if there's, okay. I just think there was something else there, but that, he said there was some money in the budget to be worked with, so I'm just trying to figure out, exactly what we're talking about. You're talking about starting wages, I understand.
Yeah, well, we're talking about starting wages as well as some others across that, looking at it and so forth, trying to get it balanced and get it right. We've always given a flat across the board raise.
That's right, absolutely.
So, we're looking at trying to get everything back to the level where it needs to be, okay? I think we all agree that with our starting wage for someone with the county, the fact is it's low, okay, in comparison to the manufacturers and so forth and different
Well, that ain't maybe even
businesses around
surrounding
this area.
counties, the same jobs
Correct.
surrounding counties. We need to be competitive
That's
and need to
right.
be fair.
Absolutely.
You have a motion and a second to go ahead and approve the second reading of the budget as presented.
Motion.
All right, Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Smothers?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Okay, we acknowledged in our meeting that we had the working poor in our employment base, and that people that work 2,000 hours a year at $9 an hour, $18,000, just barely above the poverty level, or at the poverty level. So we know that people probably, if we can do better, we need to try to look at those jobs and see if there's some adjustment we can make for that bottom wage is just a little slow. Okay, item number 5, we probably once or twice a year either renewed one of these or we've approved one of these. This is for the establishment of an agricultural district. They have to meet certain criteria, be at least 250 acres in a contiguous piece of ground, and it doesn't cost the county anything. It's basically just an acknowledgement of their agricultural status. And
That's Mr. Veach's, right?
Right.
Motion to approve?
How many acres is in this, did he say?
It's 265.38.
Oh, okay, there it is.
On the
Yeah,
map
I had
there.
saw it before, yeah.
I thought so.
It has to be a minimum of 250.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I made a motion. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mr. Smothers?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Do we skip item? We skip one.
Oh, yeah, okay. As part of that budget motion, I think on item 4, we had, in your same packet, there's a page and a half of annual recurring expenses that we've always approved that are part of our bill paying, that we don't have to pull out. And
Right.
Motion. Second.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Smothers?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Okay, item number 6, this was a new program, a new request, actually. Feeding America and the Kentucky's Heartland branch of that serves 42 counties, and Marion County is one of those counties. I see the truck unload back here at the 21st Century Learning Center, and they drop off snacks and commodities and stuff that go in the kids' weekend backpack program packs. They also drop off at the Community Action Agency. This is a request to assist with the Farms to Food Bank program. The legislature this year approved $600,000 for them to utilize produce and seconds from farmers market purchases, and they didn't give me money to distribute that extra buying. So they're asking for a little contribution. They have down here at the bottom of that letter, for a $1,000 donation, you're going to be funding a full truckload distributed directly to our residents, and I'd like to contribute $1,000 of my general welfare funds, if the court will allow me to get that amount assuredly delivered here to this area.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Smothers?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Okay, item number 7, we had the old Crown Vic at the detention center that we declared surplus and advertised in the paper for sealed bids. I have 3 bids that are here, and we'll open those and see if the court will entertain an acceptance or a rejection of those bids. The first one is says from Joseph Ford. And the amount is $1,250. Okay, the second one doesn't have a name on the front of it. I hope it does on the inside. It's from Joseph Essex. Bid of $303. Quite a bit of difference.
Yeah.
And
A little
the
tight there, wasn't it?
third one is from Marvin Gardner, 68 Auto Parts. A bid of $731.
Looks like Mr. Joseph Ford.
Is 1,000 too cheap?
Yeah,
That's right. That's good.
I'd say Mr. Joseph Ford's got to get him a
I'd
new
say he's a
vehicle.
proud owner of Crown Vic.
I think you're right. Motion to approve Mr. Joseph Ford
Second.
Second.
before he
I'll look at that and make sure, because it looks like he started out 1,150 and he's cost, I'm sure it's not 250, but
Make
it's got a
sure.
comment there somewhere. I'm hoping I'm in.
Well, how about we just go ahead and approve him for
I
$1,250, see
see
if he takes it,
$12.50,
you
I
know?
think.
That's the way I'm reading it, but you all verify that that's what it looks like. Because it looks like
County attorney, look at this.
he's got a comma in there,
I tell you
so
what, Judge, I'm gonna let the county attorney make
Let's
that.
do that.
interpret that, county attorney, and I think he crossed out 1150 and made 1250 out of it.
That's all we really hear. You say it a little louder?
I guess if it is 250, he'll do the difference.
Well, if it is $250, I think Mr. Marvin Gardner will
Would
own
be
the
the
vehicle.
fallback bid.
Yeah,
Mr. Elder?
yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Smothers?
County attorney.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Okay, number 8 is department reports. You all received road department report. You ever had a chance to review that? Jimmy, good job on the report.
Very good.
Looks like, we're having a few employees that are out on leave, and Jimmy and I talked briefly before the meeting about still being kind of shorthanded. Yesterday, we had the jail training. I think we had 6 people out. You were trying to do early route and get everybody down there a little early for the sanitation and road department for the jail instruction at Mark and Barry and Jennifer Ponce, and everybody did a good job of giving some instruction to employee supervision of inmates. Jimmy, would you like to make a comment about the employee situation?
Yes, I think we need to look into harm before we short we've been.
Do we have to advertise it again?
We probably need to run another ad
I
yet.
know we've already advertised just recently for
We've
the
got a little
better
pool of
cover.
applicants, but just as a formality, we need to run that in the paper, I'm sure.
Do they need to be a CDL? You said you need a CDL driver. Does that need to be specified?
Yeah. We have at least Class B.
So that'll
What's your thought for this individual? What are you gonna utilize them
Well,
for?
he's going, when somebody misses on the garbage truck, he's gonna be on the back of the garbage truck.
He had that problem today, actually. Every employee out there was on garbage trucks.
Gotcha,
Yeah, it's many
Every day just about on the garbage truck.
gotcha. So, my point is, the primary purpose of this new employee is for the sanitation, is that correct?
Well,
Or-
it's gonna be slashed. He ain't on the garbage truck, he's gonna be on the road truck.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Say you got 8 people on the garbage truck, they got vacation time, they're gonna be sick, you know,
Gotcha.
you're gonna have to have at least 2 or 3 that's gonna have to fill in for the garbage people.
Right. And it's,
Are we
I'm
advertising for
totally,
his driver?
I'm sorry?
Are we advertising for a driver?
Yeah,
or-
well, he gets to have his
They'll
Class
have
B
that
CDL.
capability.
No, he's gonna be on back, he's gonna do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm fine with it. The only question I have, or the only point I know that we talked about this probably 3 months ago, is that if there is a job opening up, that an employee with seniority get an opportunity to get that position. That's something that I think we should always do, and I think that's something those employees have deserved, is that if I've been here, whether it be 8 years, 5 years, 12 years, or 22 years, and there's a position that opens up, that employee with seniority should have an opportunity to get that.
If he's got a good evaluation.
Nobody wanting to-
Well, I understand.
Well, plus, if it's a CDL job,
I
they've got a
think it's maybe our
CDL.
unspoken policy that we hire from within, move from within first, and then if someone don't want it, we advertise.
As long as there are qualifications, if they meet
Everybody.
that qualifications, and if they're a good enough employee to get that job. There's some employees that may not be qualified, or they may not, they've given you a headache. Obviously, you don't want to promote them, so.
Well, but anyway, that's the bottom line. Just want to make sure, because that, I've seen in the past where that hasn't happened.
Especially
And-
if
and I'm
they
not
have a
gonna-
CDL.
Right,
Right.
and I'm just going to tell you that moving forward, I'm not going to stand for it, because I think the bottom line is that a qualified employee, and it's not just the road department, it can be the EMS, detention center, wherever. I think the fact is, when it comes to an employee that's been there, as Mayor Smothers said, they've done a good job, they work hard, they show up for work, they do their job. If that's a job they're interested in, they should have that opportunity. They've earned it. I think they've earned it, so. And I'd appreciate if you help us out on that. Thank you.
Truck issue, or say having with the new truck.
I just told y'all I took it to Louisville today, it's under warranty, get me checked out, it's got some problems.
Something they can resolve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's pick it up Monday.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Jimmy?
How's Mr.
Doing a
Lee?
real good job out there.
Yes,
Jimmy.
you are doing a
Appreciate it.
very good job. How's Mr. Lee? Is he,
He's reported in, he's still off for another week or so anyway, but,
Oh.
still, of course, he's had some problems. His mom had some major surgery there Monday with, colon surgery and stuff, so he's been off that too, but
I think, did Nell and Hayden say we could start blacktopping and pay them next year?
Good, good. I need to get with y'all,
Yeah.
Jimmy's run some numbers on what lists that they had put together out there already. There's still some to add to that. I did the math on how it broke out by district. There's still some short, and one that's about a half mile over, but it's not real far off. I was using the $900,000 blacktop money we had in our asphalt budget and breaking it out proportionally, and probably still, I think it totaled about, now that Hayden figured 802 or 7 something with the county crew doing it. So there's still probably about a couple $100,000 that needs to be apportioned out between all the districts to make it balance out. We never did take a motion on Jimmy's recommendation to hire an employee either, I don't think.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Mr.
You're doing a great job.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Smothers?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Unanimous.
You know, real quick, getting back to Jimmy, I noticed in the report, you know, you're having some issues taking off, and I know this will help out, but just so you know, I mean, if we've got new employees that are taking time off that they're not supposed to, I mean, that's something, Judge, that you need to help.
We're looking into it.
Okay, well, that's good. Just make sure you get the support.
On probation.
If you run a little short, John and I'll ride the back of a garbage truck one day.
I'd love to, but I'll be out of town for the next few months, so, you know, yeah. Probably up to about spring of next year, I'd say.
You need to do it in the winter, if you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
No, summer's better.